Hello, good evening. I'm Oral Gibbs, and welcome to Oral Gibbs Live, coming to you live here from World Star Studios at Amsterdam Shopping Center. And this evening, I have a very interesting guest. One that's been here many, many times before, Mr. Wally Havertong. Mr. Havertong, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing quite well, sir.
Your name is synonymous with the Lions.
It is definitely, yes. Well, it's been 40 years, since I've been a Lion, so, and...
You won the original ones?
No, not really. I was not a charter member. 5 years after they were chartered, I joined the Lions Club.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and it's been good going since then, so it's nice to, do service to the community, and that's what we're there for, really, to serve the community. And that's also the reason why we organize all sorts of projects, community projects, to give service, give back to the community. And the funds that we raise, according to our constitution, we must put it back into the community. So that's the reason why we have to organize projects, to put back the money that we raise from the community, to put it back into the community.
Is it more difficult raising funds these days?
Oh yes, definitely. It is very much so. Throughout the years we've worked a lot with corporate sponsors, and they have been very, very good to us, I can say. Especially when it comes to our bingo drive in December month, they've been very good to us. But we are noticing, of course, that the economical situation is really not permitting, so many corporate sponsors to be involved in certain projects. Because what we did formerly, we sort of geared our projects towards a certain certain corporate sponsor. Like, for instance, if we have an activity, we say, well, that corporate sponsor, will take care of that project. You see? Okay. But now that is getting more and more difficult, yes, of course.
And I noticed you all been pioneers, because I remember back in the 80s, you all did a telethon. I don't know, you remember in LBC?
Yes, that's
you remember
correct. That? Yes, I remember that. I remember that when we raised quite a lot of funds for, we did several. The biggest one, I think, was the one that we raised for the young boy that we had an ear implant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. And now you all are doing an annual wellness fair.
Yes, health and wellness fair, yes, sure.
You want to give us a history of that a little bit, please, if you don't mind?
Yes, of course. 8 years ago, we started with what we call then, of course, the Lions Health and Wellness Fair. And after one of our stalwarts, really, Lion Rudy Hoover, passed away, and he was very instrumental in getting health projects for the Lions, and especially when it came to sight. So after he passed away, then we decided then to name the Health and Wellness Fair after him. Also, we have another Lion whom we have named. Every year we have a senior citizens party for all the senior citizens on the island, give them a good time during the day. And that has been named after Lion Nelson van der Linde, who also passed away some 10 years ago, you see. And so this is our 8th Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair that we are organizing on the 5th of March at the Festival Village. And Oral, I can tell you, the interest for the fair has been growing throughout the years. And one good positive thing I can say about the consequences of such a fair is that several foundations have been established, health foundations, I must say, awareness foundations have come off the ground through the fact that, they have seen what we do in the Health and Wellness Fair, that they can of course promote what they stand for at such a fair, and they have established several foundations. We have, for instance, the Sickle Cell Foundation, which is a brand new foundation. They took part last year, and for instance, they screened over 200 people.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, that's a lot. That's for the first time. It's very, very successful. We have the Parkinson Foundation, also a new foundation. We have the Down Syndrome Foundation, also that that gears towards Down syndrome, the kids, etc. And So we have well, of course, the AIDS Foundation. They're always
But
there.
they've been around a long time.
They've been along. They've been from the beginning.
Yeah.
And also the Diabetes Foundation. You know, they do all sorts of different tests.
Yeah.
The high blood pressure, the cholesterol, and the sugar. But this year they're adding a very special thing to the fair also, and they're flying in from Curacao, and that is admirable in them also, that they're flying in a podiatrist to check the feet of people, so you can go and get your feet checked, you know, your bones, so that you know, you would be able to get the results on that test. That is a plus again, besides the normal test that what they do, you see. And one great addition, I must say, to the fair, because we also want to concentrate on wellness, on the wellness of people, and we're having 3 speakers in the afternoon, and I want to stress on that, Oral, because you know there are 3 topics that are very, very interesting. For instance, we have a pharmacist on board this year for the first time. That is the pharmacist Dick Luticus of the Phillipsburg Pharmacy, and he is willing to speak from 10:30 until 12:30. Every 20 minutes he will give a talk on the administration of medication, the lifestyle, the use of the correct medication and the prescribed medication, and the lifestyle that you need, you know, that you need to live in accordance with the medication that you're using, which is of course is very good information for people to know, because we've seen and we have discussed it with institutions, and they admit that, for instance, among our diabetics on the island, which is very dangerous, that they share the medication.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They get the medication, and half for you and half for me. You know, that doesn't, you know,
crazy.
that's not the idea. That's not the idea, you know. And also people need to read about the medication that they're using, so they know, you know, what it's good for, and why, what effect it has. And because if they notice a side effect, they should be able to discuss it with a doctor. You see?
Yeah.
And those are the very important things. So I think that is going to be a very interesting topic also. Then we're going to have the civil law notary, Mrs. Meredith Bookhout, and she is going to be talking about making a will, why it is important to make a will, you know what I mean?
Right.
And how to set up a will. And one other topic she's going to touch on, which I would like people to come and listen to that, because she's going to be talking about inheritance. And the laws on inheritance have changed. So I want people to come out to hear what the changes are in inheritance law. One thing I can make mention of now, for instance, is that formerly you had the legitimate portion. You know, I'm a child, I'm entitled, I have a legitimate portion. That is scratched. So if your parents want to will anything to anyone, go right ahead. They don't have to take into consideration that my children must get. If they don't, you know, okay, it is something that is not going to happen all the time, but the possibility.
It just happened just 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah.
There was a case, and the children lost the case.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You see, so so they have to come and listen to these things, because you will be surprised to know how many cases we have in court today pertaining to succession land. You know that?
Right.
Inheritance. You know, those kind of things, and why? And some of them going on for nearly 20 years.
Wow.
You know, so it is very important to come and listen to that. And then we have and she's going to be speaking, start at 2 o'clock, on 2 till 3, and then you can ask the necessary questions and get the information. Also at 3 o'clock, Dr. Peter Offringa, the pediatrician, he is going to be talking about a very the misconception of asthma and allergies. You know, in particular, pertaining to our surroundings here, you know, what is causing the asthma, what is causing the allergies, the people to have this is because there are certain things in our surrounding here that is affecting the people. So these are things that people should come and listen to, you know what I mean? Besides, and then we have all sorts of other tests that will be done. Ms. Williams is here for the Kidney Foundation. That's also a brand new foundation again. Right. You had the Cervical Cancer Foundation. All of those came out of the ground because these people came to the fair, saw what can be done, and then what is very important is that these foundations are a support group for anyone who has a particular illness. So that's why we are as Lions, we are so happy to be able to offer this to the community.
You can have Alzheimer's too? Alzheimer's Foundation?
Yeah, Alzheimer's Foundation, most present, they're always there. Oh. Yeah, and many people should come and do the Alzheimer's test also. There's a certain test, a memory test, things like that. Because, when you're getting up there, you really got to check on.
No, young people, people in their 50s are getting.
Yeah. We had the Heart and Stroke Foundation. It's a pity we're not hearing from them anymore. And I think that is a foundation should really get back out off the ground because, when you go to the St. Martin home, you'll be surprised.
A lot of people with strokes.
To see young people with stroke. Young people with stroke. Right. Yeah, what is causing it? Let's find out. Let's do something about it. Let's educate the people. To take better care of themselves. And
but it's avoidable in a way.
Yeah, it is. It is avoidable. But of course, you have to, you really have to catch it in time, and then you have to take care of yourself also. Yeah, So all in all, I can say that we have some 40 booths that will be occupied totally with the different informations that the organizations, etc., will be giving. For instance, the youth health section of the public health department, they're going to be doing something together with the SZV also. SZV is also going to be part of the fair, and they're going to be using the bus so they can do certain tests, which with more privacy, which I do hope, and I really look forward to them doing, for instance, the prostate examinations. That is also oral. We know as men.
A lot of men have it too.
And they don't listen. They don't want to hear. I remember talking about it. And some of the men walked off and said, "Oh, I don't want to hear that." You don't want to hear it, but someday, you're going to have to deal with it.
A lot of men are afraid, actually, of that.
Of that, yes. You see what happened, which I learned also from doctors, especially when I worked at a hospital. That the doctor would tell you, "Look, every man has prostate cancer. It does not develop in everybody." Yeah, and you can avoid it from developing by using your medication on time, by having your test done, checking your PSA, for instance, your blood test. But if you don't do that and just live on, it can catch up with you someday.
Then come back to haunt you.
To haunt you. That's right. So all of these things are very important for people to come out. We have the Suchi Foundation, and as you know, they do the massages, etc. They're also going to be having different vegetarian foods, etc. But last year...
That's a group that's going to be here next week, Tuesday. They're
going to be here next week, Tuesday. And yes, you should really listen to them because they have some new thing. They were telling me about it, but it is so complicated. I tell you the truth, I cannot repeat what it told me, but it is something that is helpful, and that would heal people, etc. And one thing we must bear in mind, though, is that there's so many things out there on the market, but we have to be, of course, careful and just not using any and everything. But what is very important, what I want to say to people, especially when it comes to medication, is to read about a medication, because you might have a medication that has a certain side effect, right? But you just take it because, let's say, it was prescribed to you, but you did not, for instance, tell the doctor, that I have such and such, or I suffer
Right.
with such and such, and then you go and use the medication, which is bad for you. I'll give you an example that happened to me myself. I was in Fort Lauderdale visiting my brother some time ago here, and he was using a tablet, Bone Health. They also sell it here in the store. And he said, oh, it's good. And he gave me a pack. He said, go with it, use it. And I started using that thing, I had an accident with my leg 3 years ago, with my knee, with a car rolled over my knee. And, but I move around pretty good. And all of a sudden I started to feel, the legs are not doing that well. I say, I think that Bone Health isn't working for me. So it shows you again, that you cannot just take things like that and thinking that it might help him, but that doesn't mean it's going to help me, And it's the same thing with the sharing of the medication, So that's why, once again, I want to stress to the people out there that on Saturday, the 5th of March, the Lions are having the Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair, a fair that is really and truly, and everything, Oral, is free of charge. So no one who is coming there to set up, their booth or whatever, is allowed to charge any kind of money for their services. So everything is covered by the Lions. Yeah. So because a fair like this costs us between $12,000 and $15,000 to organize. You have to pay for the village, you have to pay for we have to get hundreds of chairs, hundreds of tables, for the stakeholders to be able to use them, etc. So all of that costs money, you see. But we don't want, it is free of charge for the public. The public should come there and get all the services free of charge, get all information free of charge. We're also going to have, and I'm speaking to senior citizens like myself. I go to the gym 3 times a week and I exercise.
What?
Yeah, very much. I'm 78, but I feel like
You're what?
78.
No, man, I don't believe it.
I
You put my leg there, man.
Yes, I have.
Wow.
But we are going to be given some demonstrations on exercise. Those of us that go to the gym, senior citizens that go to the gym, I'm really trying to get as many senior citizens to exercise, Stop being lazy, stop sleeping till 10 o'clock in the morning, stop just lying in bed all day, get up and do some exercise. And we're going to have the I&I Fitness Center, where I go to in Colby. They're going to be there. But also, Mrs. Westcott Williams, she has a group. You too can.
Which is good, yeah.
And she's also going to be there with her seniors and young people and doing the various exercises.
But Mr. Havertong, wait a minute there, please. I gotta. You ever look at your face in the mirror?
Every day.
Because look, you don't have a wrinkle, man. I can't believe 78 and you don't even have a wrinkle.
No.
You use some special cream or something.
Nothing.
I envy you, man. Wow, it's amazing.
Nothing at all. I'm blessed, and I think because my whole family, all of us are over 70, some over 80, some 90.
Okay. So it's in the
people
genes,
say,
then.
yeah, we have good genes, and I'm happy for that. And that's why you shouldn't just keep it to yourself, but you should also share it with others and tell others, you can be just like me, but you
But you gotta go to the gym.
You gotta go to the gym, you gotta
Eat good.
exercise, yes, you gotta eat the right food, etc. But that's also another thing, Oral, that eating the right food is important. But I can imagine for some people,
Difficult, expensive.
It's expensive. I mean, if you're someone working for a minimum wage, don't tell them you got to eat this, you got to eat that. I mean, they're struggling. They're struggling. And that is what happens to those kind of situations that you would have. But nevertheless, I think still. I always say every year, Oral, for the fair, I say, if through the fair, we can help 10, 20 persons, to live a better life, take better care of themselves, to get the right information. Because sometimes you get between 600 and 700 people that come to the fair.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the reason why also we put the speakers in the afternoon to sort of balance it out, because in the afternoon time people stop coming.
I think this year is going to be different. I think this year you're going to have thousands of people there.
Yeah, we're going to have lots of people, because they're going to want to come and hear this, and they want to come and get the necessary information and do the necessary tests.
Yeah.
Because if we can see that something like sickle cell, if they could have tested 200 persons last year, it shows you, that there is a necessity for that, And they spoke very openly about those that have the sickle cell. They spoke openly about it, and that was very important, because that really attracted the people to come, because that those people were speaking from experience,
Right.
and that is it. When they can share at the fair their own experiences to people, so
Yeah.
and then that because maybe reading it from a pamphlet, okay, fine, it's advertisement, it's whatever, but getting it from the horse's mouth is so very important.
I know you also brought along, this is
Yes.
Williams,
Mm-hmm.
and Mrs. Williams is a foundation,
Kidney Foundation.
pardon?
Kidney Foundation.
Kidney Foundation, yes.
Yes.
And that's relatively new, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're also going to be at the fair on the 5th of March?
Yes, I am.
And I know you have a very interesting story, because many years ago we did an interview with you. You were quite a survivor yourself.
Yes.
You had a kidney
I
transplant.
have a kidney transplant. Yeah.
And how has it been for you?
It's the kidney itself. The kidneys. She's functioning better and better and better and better. Since my book, yes, that was my 6 years ago
Yeah.
that I did the interview concerning my history, my medical background.
Mm.
I was sick with my kidneys when I was a child, and they stopped functioning. And yes, my parents, were back and forth with the doctors, because back in that time, there wasn't any dialysis here in St. Martin. So we traveled, and eventually the entire family moved to the Netherlands, and I lived there for about 15 years. And yes, I have my mom, she's still there. I have siblings and my niece and nephews, some family. I came back, and it was my passion to actually start a foundation, in order, as Mr. Havertong just mentioned, when you share from personal experience, it hits home, The information is on the brochure, which I wanted to have at the fair also, that people can read. Doesn't have to be a whole book, but a couple leaves that people can have that hands-on information. But when you share with people, because I do that also, in the community, wherever, and to hear people's story, whether it's personally or a family member or a friend close by, that whether they had to fly out or they are now on dialysis or they're having pre-dialysis. Pre-dialysis is when you have, little special treatments, but you don't have to go on the machine as yet. Sharing the information personally, it touches more, and you can express more, and people can relate more. So the foundation is very recently, just barely a month. So we haven't, bloomed as yet, but I'm so grateful for the opportunity now that came along with Mr. Havertong, with the Lions Club, that I can be there and share that information, bringing the awareness of people in their lifestyle, how we eat. I know we have the fast food facilities, quick, easy around us, but we have to be and get more conscious of how and what we are consuming. When I share with a lot of people, I basically ask, do you drink water? You know, a simple headache can be gone with just drinking some water. In the morning when we get up, well, you know, everybody has a different posture, different size, different weight. It's good to drink water. You know, a lot of people may think, oh yeah, I just drank some coffee, I drank some tea, I drank a soda, but that's not water. It has, you know, different stuff in it. So I can personally say, okay, why do we have to establish a foundation? I believe that it is bringing the information. You have it set business-wise, you know, it's nonprofit, but it's more established and people can relate. Because me personally, I can share the information. I can, you know, just go out and share the information. But when you have the foundation, you can accomplish more, and you can reach out more. And we also want to share and partner with different health organizations. We have the diabetes we just heard. We have the AIDS Foundation. Hypertension is a very key symptom that can lead to kidney failure. Diabetes lead to kidney failure. AIDS, because it has to do with the blood. The job of the kidneys is to purify, you know, your blood, and that comes out in urine, in waste. So if we are not drinking enough to help the kidneys to work and do that, purify all of that, you're going to need eventually you're going to need a machine to do that work. And being on a machine, that's a whole different lifestyle. You got to sit at the machine with the needle and, you know, you don't want to get too technical.
Yeah.
3 times a week, and it drains you more than anything else. You know, it does the work for the kidneys, but it drains you, you know, it makes you more tired. So when we have the foundation that we can partner up, as I just mentioned, with other organizations, whether it's the AIDS Foundation. I know that AIDS Day is in December, you know, that's later down in the year. And in the community, as in whether the community centers, and whenever there are different organizations having their public awareness, you know, that we can team up and, you know, share together with the community.
So there's so many people now with kidney problems, and the Simrata Medical Center is doing a great job.
Wonderful.
They have a
Wonderful.
extensive schedule just dealing with
Yes.
patients there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they've come a long way, really.
Yeah.
And what we want to also, one of my visions also is to bring the community aware of being kidney donor. That would be, you know, since we're talking about expanding our medical center, you know, because for kidney transplants, the patient has to go on the kidney transplant list, whether it's going to head towards the States or towards Europe, the Netherlands. You have to be on a list first. And to bring the community aware of whether it's a family or someone. We have a couple people, I've met one person that have given a kidney to his brother. You know, I don't know, maybe it might sound scary, but it can shorten the length of time of someone being on that list for waiting for a kidney transplant. So that's one of the main visions of the foundation. And also that based in here in St. Martin, in starting out the foundation and, you know, interacting with the community and the public, that we also want to connect with foundations around the Caribbean, kidney foundations around the Caribbean. We have the Kidney Foundation in the Netherlands, the Nierstichting, and I'm pretty familiar with them when I was in the Netherlands, and you know, and abroad. So not like we're just gonna just function here in St. Martin, but in the time to come, we want to connect with other kidney foundations.
And this is the 5th anniversary too?
No, the eighth, yeah.
And you're growing, getting bigger.
Yes, yes, it's really growing, as I said. Up to yesterday, we had some psychologists called in. They have just formed the psychologists on the island. They have formed a foundation,
Wow.
and they would like to take part. They said, "Sure, we would like to be there. We would like to share information. We would like to assist people, etc." You know, it's amazing. And then, worse again, a physiotherapist has just been sworn in, as you could have seen her picture in the newspaper by Ms. Balani.
Yeah.
And she called, she said she also wants to be part of the fair, you know, whereby she could be able to share information about exercise, about you know, therapy, etc. I said, sure, why not? Of course, you know, come and join. So it shows once again that people are aware, and they would like to also make use of the opportunity to, you know, to bring forward what they stand for, what they have, what they work at, you know. So that is so very, very important. And as Ms. Williams mentioned concerning kidney and dialysis, that's what the Smart Medical Center, they will also be part.
They'll be there too?
Yeah, they will be there. They're there every year.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and they will be concentrating on dialysis, you know, and so that is that will be in combination with the Kidney Foundation, which is also very good.
Yeah, I understand, Mr. Under, that dialysis is so expensive that most patients, if they had to really pay for it, could not afford.
No, yeah, it's very expensive. It is expensive, and that's why you have to make sure that you're insured for it, you know, so that you don't have to, because yes, every treatment is quite expensive, you know.
Yeah, and Mr. William, you went through dialysis when you was younger, right?
Yes.
For how long?
The dialysis, that was, I think, like a year.
In the Netherlands?
Year and a half, yes.
Because you couldn't get it, it could not be done in St. Martin, right?
No, neither Curaçao.
Curaçao either?
Neither Curaçao. It's from Curaçao is where we flew to the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
It was acute. One time, straight from the plane, an ambulance, straight at the hospital, straight dialysis.
And then a year later, you got the transplant?
That was, the first transplant was 6 months, came in June, and I got the kidney in December. That functioned for some years. We had, you know, sometimes you have rejection.
Oh, okay.
Because I came back to St. Martin. That's mostly in my book, shared in my book.
Yeah.
And then started to, you know, diminish. So we had to return back to the Netherlands and go through the whole process again.
You're lucky.
Go through all the dialysis again. And then for transplant, that second one was for a year. Wait for a year. And up until present.
But you're lucky lady. I know people waiting for years.
I hear it. I hear it.
Yes, of course, of course.
Wow.
Did you know, Oral, that the Lions Club donated the very, very first dialysis machine to St. Martin?
Wow.
In 1985.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We had one fundraising, and that was a fishing tournament, you know, right there in Phillipsburg on the pier.
Yeah.
And we raised some $13,000. You know, in those days you could raise a lot of funds, $13,000, and we donated the first dialysis machine to the St. Rose Hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I'm so proud about that, really. You know, that we...
31 years ago.
Yeah, that really opened the gate, you know, to the awareness that there is a necessity. Yeah, and because the patients at that time had to go abroad, they couldn't, you know, they couldn't be dialyzed here, and so many people had to even, you know, move away from the island to go and live somewhere else to get the dialysis done.
Yeah, and you know what's also interesting now, Ms. Howden and Ms. Williams, is that I understand now people come on vacation and they go to the St. Martin Medical Center to have dialysis.
Yeah, this is done. Yes, of course, they have to schedule. Yeah, they call in and they said they will be on the island, and then they schedule them.
Yeah.
That is also, you know, and it is a lucrative business, you know, because here it is done at the hospital. In Aruba, they have a very large dialysis center.
Oh, okay.
Private.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're quite busy. Yeah. Sure. And okay, some people also have they also use the kidney machine at home, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, that they can use it at home themselves and do their own dialysing, you know. And it's quite interesting to see what goes on, you know, and when people are being dialyzed. When I
Yeah.
worked at the hospital, I usually would go in and, you know, and have
Yeah.
a chat with them and see
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
you know.
The Netherlands right now is having a drive of they want to have a kunstnier,
Yeah.
draagbare kunstnier, a portable
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Artificial
kidney. Yes.
kidney, artificial,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's for 2017 that they're raising the funds for the portable draagbare kunstnier.
Yeah, yeah. Artificial.
Yes, it
kidney.
want to make the patient more mobile. You
So
know,
just carry on the side like walking.
yeah, and you know, I guess they would train you how to operate the machine and stuff like that because it's very hygienic. You know, instead of having the patient sit for hours, 3-4 hours, 3 times a week, you know, on the machine, and to make it more movable and more friendly. You know, that you don't have that drive of, oh, you know, gotta go hospital again, and you know, because besides just wanting a kidney transplant and all of that, you know, you have the social effect also, you know, in your family, because in my case, our entire family had to move. We had to move to the Netherlands, you know, go and live, because you know, it called for that social part that you gotta have all of the treatment and everything, you know, nearby. So even here, we don't do transplants here. So the patient that has to travel, you practically, you know, gotta move for a while. I guess, you know, technology get a little bit more advanced. So we want to bring people. That's why we want to bring people in awareness of how you're taking care of yourself.
You told me during the break that you want to mention the email addresses for people to get in touch with the foundation also.
Yes, we have the email address is kidney, BOPMCF @gmail.com. Kidney, BOPMCF @gmail.com.
And you said the foundation is pretty young. It's just a month
Yes,
now, right?
just barely a month. Yes, it came out of it was birthed out of my story, out of my book. The book is entitled Because of Prayer, so the foundation is called Because of Prayer Miracle Center.
So then the Lions Club has been responsible for a lot of things health related in Zimbabwe.
Yes. You know, and Harold, in 1925, we were challenged by Helen Keller to become Knights of the Blind. You know, and so sight really is our specialty. We really involve very much in sight projects throughout the world. And if you can recall, in 2001, we brought down the Canadian Vision Care from Canada. We brought down a team of optometrists, and they tested the eyes of every single child of the elementary school here on the island. Over 3,500 children were tested, you know, throughout the period of some 2 weeks. We bussed them every day, you know, school for school, and they had their eyes tested. And the Canadian Vision Care donated some 350 eyeglasses to children that needed glasses at that right away at that time. You know, so it was a beautiful project, and you know, and of course what we do worldwide also, because we have the program we call Sight First. Now we have raised in 1990. I remember we raised some $390 million throughout the world for sight. And we for instance, like here we collect old eyeglasses, right? And we send them to recycle centers in the States or wherever. And there they repolish them and they refix those glasses according to the strengths. They are boxed and then they're sent to the underdeveloped countries, where people. And we had a video, and I would like to show that video also on cable TV to see how it goes. That we have the lions, and then the people line up, and you would see them.
Yeah.
Wow, they line up for hours, and hoping that they could get their glasses. And then the lions are there to test. We have optometrists there to test their eyes, and then to give them the right pair of glasses, which they get free of charge, of course. It's a tremendous project, and that is worldwide, really, that we do that. Because we also have a lot of lion doctors that do research on river blindness, because there are lots of people in Africa, for instance, when they swim in the river, they get blind. They go blind, and so to combat river blindness, to find out, do research then why is it that that water really causes blindness in people. So all in all, we are here, and we are about 1.4 million members strong over the world, and that's what we do. We also have a foundation called Lions Clubs International Foundation, and that is a foundation that really assists in disasters, etc.
Yeah.
When Dominica had a disaster, right away we wrote to Lions Clubs International, and they gave a big donation towards the development of Dominica for the disaster which they had, and there is where the money goes that the Lions raise throughout the world. But all in all, and that's why here where health is concerned, and in particular, not to give myself a tap on the shoulder, but where health is concerned, I just love really, assisting where it's possible pertaining to any health issues, health situations, etc. And I'm so happy to see that we have named the fair after my very, very personal, very good friend, not only a lion, but a very personal friend of mine, Lion Rudy, and so that we can, assist the community. And that's why I really and truly want to stress to the community to come out to the fair. People, and if they don't come out, I think I'm going to have to announce that some big time singer is going to be there.
They're going to be there. Don't worry.
Some big time singer
free,
is
right?
going to be there to.
But it's free, right? It's
all free, all free.
And they have food they can buy when they're there.
Well, there is one caterer we have, yes,
okay,
who will be selling food, because people are there all day. If they want something to eat, yes, okay. And that's the only person who is allowed to sell food or sell anything. Anybody else, everything else is free of charge.
When you look at St. Martin today, the cost of healthcare on this island is just unbelievable.
Unbelievable, yes.
And I think what I like about what the Lions Club is doing with this type of wellness fair, you're giving information so that people are better informed. And if they're better informed, then they can take better care of themselves. And they can avoid sometimes some of the health issues that come along.
Yes, for instance, just to give you an example, when people go to a certain booth, like let's say they go to the diabetes booth, and they have their sugar check, they have something checked, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, your sugar is extremely high. And that person hears it for the very, very first time, or your blood pressure is very high. And maybe that person is walking around with that for a while already, not realizing, immediately that person is referred to their, with a letter or whatever, something in writing, that they have to go to their the practitioner, the general practitioner, the doctor, so that the doctor can start the treatment, on medication, etc., with them. So that's what we're doing at the fair, because we want to help as many people to find out if anything is wrong with them,
Mm-hmm.
and the same thing, and that's why also again, let people come and have their feet checked, because that is something. We don't have a podiatrist on the island. That is a service, that now you're getting it for free.
Yeah.
Because it is not cheap. We don't have that machine. We don't have the doctor to do it, right? Now they are being so kind now to fly in this person from Curacao, to come and do this test for the people. So people come out and make use of that opportunity, because since you never get a chance to check your feet, come and check them now. You never know. The other day I heard Dr. Misset, who's a surgeon at the hospital here, talking about that. The care of the diabetic foot.
Very important.
Very important, very important. But also, look how many amputations we have on the island.
Is it because of not taking proper care?
That's it. Yeah, not proper care. And also the treatment of the amputated leg. That also is important. Because I have seen people really screaming with pain.
After the leg is amputated?
Yeah, after the leg is amputated. Because, it's so funny that they're still feeling their toes,
Wow.
Yeah, they're feeling the itching and the burning while it is right there by their knee.
Wow.
I saw that at the St. Martin home the other day. And this guy was really in pain. He was in a lot of pain. And, that comes on suddenly on people. So all these things, the care is there, but, you must be able to go and get that done. So that's why I'm putting the emphasis again, and one thing I want to say again, because we have a lot of assistants, we also have the medical students, from the medical schools that we have here. They also come in to assist, to help here and there, wherever help can. And we're very grateful for that also. And but I want to put the emphasis also on the fact that, because we have noticed also that people come and, I just come to check my blood pressure and I just come to check my cholesterol, and they go on home. Now you have 40 booths with all sorts of other information, with all sorts of other things that you can get information on.
Mm-hmm.
And all you want to come that day, is to check your pressure. No, come on. So we are trying to interest people to visit every single booth, and get the information, get your tests, several tests done, because and the elderly go and do a memory test by the Alzheimer's. People when they hear the word Alzheimer's, oh my goodness, what are you going to do there? But it's time to do a memory test, because you're starting to forget. What do you think you're starting to forget? You know what I mean?
Sometimes people are afraid to do the test because they don't want to know the results.
They don't want to know the results. And when they know the results, it might be too late. So that is why it is very important. And we are very thankful. Also, Oral, we're very thankful to all those people, all those foundations, all the organizations, institutions, that are on board with us with this fair, that are coming to give this, because they're the ones that are going to give the service. We're the organizers, but they're the ones that are going to give the service, to improve the quality of life of people. So we're very thankful to them also, and especially those that have been there with us for the past 8 years, faithfully, coming out and wanting to give the information. And of course also to the new ones that are coming on board,
Like this one.
Like this one, yes, of course. Look at that, 2 months, and we have a foundation, pertaining to kidney, which is a very, very important also disease that people need to really look after. Yeah. So all in all, I think that it is serving its purpose that we organize this, and I know that you know, some people would say, oh, you're taking $12,000 to $15,000, you know, and just
It's for a good cause.
but it is
That's
for a good cause. It is for a good cause, you know. And I mean to say, what do you expect? I mean, you cannot have everything, you know, everything for free. So we must be able to give that service to the community.
But you can save lives.
You save life, and the satisfaction, because many people say, yeah, but all this money. I say, listen, it is the satisfaction that you get, you know.
Yeah.
Because when I give you a plate of food tomorrow and you're happy and you're glad and you're thankful, you know how good I feel, you know, that I have fed you, you know. So it is the same thing. It is the same thing, but this is what people have to realize, you know, that.
Yeah. Well, we just about other time, so I'm going to have Mrs. William first and then you, Mr.
Yes,
Havertong.
no
So
problem.
in closing, Mrs. William, can you make some closing remarks?
I just want to thank Mr. Havertong Lions Club once more again for the opportunity, seeing that we're so young and upcoming. It fits right in. Health and community and public. Mr. Oral Gibbes, thank you once again.
Welcome.
And just to the community, come out and hear what we have to share for everybody concerning everybody's health. And that you also can pass on that information. So.
Okay. Thank you. Much success.
Thank you.
And Ms. Havertong, we have about 2.5 minutes, so maybe you can, for those who missed the show, you know, and everything.
Yes, yes. Well, for those who missed the show, of course, the Lion Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair is on for the 5th of March at the Festival Village. In the People's Mouth, it's called the Carnival Village. Yes, the 5th of March, we will be there starting at 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock. You can get all sorts of tests done, all sorts of services done, all sorts of information, you know, on health care and your exercise, on also pertaining to making a will, inheritance law, you know, how to use your medication, and also asthma and allergy that, you know, that is going around in the community here and that we need to pay attention to. And the Suchi Foundation that will be massaging you, giving you a very good free massage. You know, it's not costing you $100 or whatever. It's free of charge to get your whole body massage and feel great again. You know, you might be 70 and you would feel 50 again after you've had that nice massage.
Like you talk from experience.
Yes, I'm definitely going to make use of that opportunity to get my massage. Yes, sure. You know, so all in all, I would say I thank you so much, Oral, for having us on your program, so that we can bring the message out to the people that we have in this fair, and also, you know, and you will also have some other stakeholders that will also be telling the community out there what they will be doing, because that is what I like, that the stakeholders themselves come out, you know, and share. Right. Their experiences and bring to the community why they're taking part in the fair and what they have to offer.
Well, Mr. Havertong, I want to thank you for coming in, and much success with the Lions Club and what you're doing. You're a remarkable gentleman, man. I mean, you like, you and Lions are synonymous.
Yes.
When you hear the Lions Club, you think Wally right away. So thank you again, and much success to you and your family and the whole organization, and also to you, Mrs. Williams. And that's it for now. I'll see you all next time. Till then, good night. Take care. Bye.